Disclaimer: the views and opinions Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or position of Footy Fever or its affiliates. Any content provided by our guests is of their opinion and is not intended to malign club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. Listeners are advised that the content is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be construed as professional advice.
Oh, big thank you. Big thank you there to Gretchy for voicing that, boys. We definitely not professionals, but Gretchy, thanks, mate, for coming out of the woodworks and voicing that disclaimer for us. He's going to love that.
Oh, can't wait. Can't wait to see the replies to all this.
No, it was great work, boys. How are we?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Yeah, going all right. Foxy, big week?
Yeah, always a big week.
Plenty happening around the traps here in local. Benko's not here. We did say on there that he would be here, but Benko's, I can put my hand up for a little bit of responsibility in that. He misread a message about the time. So we'll push forward and all the best to next week or the week after, Benko. We'll make sure you're here. Travel up the road, JD, but plenty of messages coming through on our group chat in relation to signings that have been happening around the area, which we'll get into a bit later. But Jonesy, Youngie, is he trying to take over Denny Widler over here? What's going on?
I think so, yeah. Youngie's got his finger on the pulse, or I think he thinks he's got his finger on the pulse. We'll have to wait and see, probably in the coming months to see how it all unfolds. But, yeah, he seems to be on the mark on a few of them.
He is.
Is that Youngie or is that Fortnite? Because half that news I'd already reported on.
Yeah. No, it was very interesting to see, and it was that Ruben and his brother Pat Andrews are going to Maitland. Is that correct? Is that something that we can confirm?
I had heard a whisper of it,
Yep.
but I don't know. I've been around Group 21 enough to know that until you see what teams run out, probably Scanlon Shield,
Yep.
some of those Group 21 whispers that get around are probably best left to go through to the keeper until you see it in person.
Yeah. Well, as you boys know, earlier on here today, Gary McKean was over and doing a bit of work, and he said to me about training now, because we're talking about Denman and the likes and the captain, coach announcement discussion, doesn't need to be made. It'd be good if it came forward, but, he worked it out that it's 20 training sessions now between now and Christmas if they start in November, and 42 before, sorry, Gary, if I get this wrong, there's 42 or a number there between Christmas and the Scanlon Shield, if you put it all together. So
Sounds like a halfback's brain at work there.
yeah,
Planning it
definitely.
It's gone straight over the front row next to his head.
That's
Yeah.
the one, mate. Yep.
You just go, I've got a Tuesday, Thursday football.
Yeah.
That's it. Keep it simple.
You give me football, I go run.
So we've got a bit of that coming up later too, a couple of years. But JD, how's things going down there? The Northern Tigers have had training and...
Yeah, things are starting to shape up for us there at the moment. Boys had a pretty big session Tuesday night at Scone. Sorted a few of the 18s boys out. There's a bit of spewing going on after the training session and that.
Wow.
So, but mate, they've probably really big buy-in.
Yep.
I think out of them this year. So we're pretty lucky. We've seen the draw. So we actually have a trial at Denman, and we'll actually have a game at Scone as well this year. So, anyone about, try and get out there and see those. So.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be very interesting with the rep season, and pretty much football, rugby league really doesn't stop for people like yourself, your wife, and people with kids in that category. Because I don't have children in that position at the moment, but no, without a doubt, with time to come, it will happen for all of us, even Foxy. But with his daughter, I'm sure Letty will get into rugby league at some point. But for you, it's basically been what's off season.
I think it's about 2 weeks in September, mate. Pretty much once grand final, it's about 2 weeks then. But it's things I enjoy doing, and for me, it's probably what'll keep me involved in the game, having that away from it. Just still be around it in that sort of way. So, but I think even in Foxy's case, like we were talking before, he's doing a lot with touch football, so that's still keeping a lot of kids involved in and around it that aren't in that rep stuff. So it's good to sort of see that going on as well.
Foxy, plenty of happening because you are a busy man as well with the touch scene. The whispers on the circuits about Muswellbrook. Have you heard anything around that? I did see Adam Grew was at training, so that's a
the boys. I guess shout out to Muswellbrook CrossFit. Nat and Johnny have been great supporters of the Muswellbrook Rams for a few years now, and they also support the Muswellbrook Cats. And they've been they're opening up the gym there for the Rams boys to start getting into a bit of training. So I think there's about it was a dozen boys that were keen to brave the heat yesterday. They go down to CrossFit.
Yep.
Grew was one of those blokes, and new face and Matty Dunn, and a couple of the old stalwarts themselves, and one bloke that was very good to see him down there training. Obviously, just through the photos, was Wade McKenzie.
Yeah.
Captain coach, him and Jacob Button leading from the front. So
we've just got to get him some cream to stop that itchy feet because we don't want to see that happen this season. So Wado's doing a great job. But Singleton, seeing announcements now starting to roll out of Greater Branxton, which is fantastic. I guess we haven't caught up since the AGM. Corindai nominating into the competition is a massive thing. Ladies, 18s and reserve grade, I've heard. We weren't there. I wasn't there. But what's the news on that from your wife's on the board now?
They've definitely. I think they were still a little bit up in the air with the in and around the 18s. But they've definitely committed to a men's side and a women's side. I'm pretty sure. Yep. So that's I think a good thing for Group 21. If we've got clubs wanting to come into the competition, sort of shows where we're at.
Yep.
There has been a little bit of a rumour around Cessnock and Curry looking to put a side in the 18s as well. So
that'd be fantastic.
If that comes about, we're looking at possibly a 7-team competition there, and if we've got people wanting to come into our competition, it means something's got to be going well.
Well, we're doing a good job of helping them out. I tell you that all the time we put in. But Foxy, I saw it. We haven't had a conversation about it as fully, but there was, as in you and I, but plenty of conversations about Murrundi having the one side nominating for the potential second side with not enough players to get there. What's your thoughts? Would you as the group speak to Murrundi, Corindai and see if they'd amalgamate so as it's one strong club?
I guess that's a possibility there. Yeah, look, I have heard a few whispers in regards to Murrundi potentially with first grade and that sort of stuff. I think, there's always that option.
Because we've had Dem and Aberdeen in the past with 18s and Dem and Muswellbrook sides, and I think Corindai coming back into it's a great thing in their own identity. Murrundi having the ability and the players on the books, if we could get another team into first grade with the best of the best from them, have reserve grade, have a ladies and the under 18s, I think it builds that foot of the mountain and that culture around that area because they're not too far apart.
Freshens the competition up a little bit too. You're not seeing the same old faces. You're travelling to a different area, gets a different supporter base sort of in and around our group, sort of adds a little bit more value to the community as well with people travelling and about. Look, I think it's a great idea. I guess obviously the problem being is, do Murrundi guys want to train at Corindai and vice versa? The logistics side of it from there. But I guess ultimately maybe they start with, Murrundi and Corindai go, let's get a reserve grade side in, just get teams in the competition to start. And then, if we go all right, let's see if we can build a bit of a team, a bit of combo team and maybe challenge first grade because, I feel like there's been some good players that have played for Murrundi over the years that have come from that Corindai area and sort of pushed down into our comp. So, it'd be a good opportunity if we could get another first grade side in our comp.
Literally, we'd be shot in the fucking foot if we said Greater or Branxton separately because of how passionate they are about there was the Greater Gorillas and there was the Branxton side. And look at them now, the strength with them two coming together. They're much closer, of course. But you think of that and you look at that foot of the hill, the northern top of our region coming into our competition. I think it'd be just fantastic to see it. I think you'd pick up a shitload of Group 4 players on the fringe.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, like JD sort of touched on, if it strengthens our comp, and it's the same with the 18s. If we get Cessnock and Curry coming into our competition, it's good for the growth of our competition more so than blokes leaving it and going elsewhere. Especially in the under 18s level, we've struggled for the best part of 5 years to have a consistent competition there. At which again, over the years, that's where first grade and reserve grade sort of struggle because that longevity of the juniors coming through the systems isn't there. So the competition sort of does die and dwindle and fluctuate at times. So there's a lot more positives for these sides coming into the comp than negatives, that's for sure.
Yeah, 18s is always difficult, as we know. We've all spoken about, the trying to get the retention out of junior rugby league through to senior rugby league is one of the challenges. So, look, I think it's great. Fresh competition. I mean, in the years gone by, we've heard Greta Brankston trying to have their to a 17s competition, and it always happens. You get that family or one person that wants to have their son play in that Newcastle competition. But realistically, as Gary Gardner used to say, if you've got hair on them, you should be you should be in. I guess, sorry, I've just lost a word, but you should be aspiring to play in first grade anyway. And in this day and age, that's where the Fletcher Bakers got signed. That's where, because it's all out there on video, gone are the days that Newcastle is the place to go forward. Yeah, you get better payment, but if you're a talented player, you're going to be found in Group 21.
Yeah, I think that sort of, if you have a look maybe now with Newcastle, you have a look like Will Neuenhouse and Jimmy Bradley.
Yep.
Like they earned their stripes sort of through this system, and basically that's now reaping their rewards. I think Jimmy's played a fair bit of New South Wales Cup now. Could lead into anything for him. So I think my message to any of those young guys out there is don't necessarily think you have to go there straight away.
Yeah.
Like build your resume up around these sort of comps and develop. If you're good enough, you're going to get picked up. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Jake Clydesdale came from, and I mean his brother's there, but Jake Clydesdale, Scone, played first grade as well in the under-18s, and now he's in the system for the Canberra Raiders. So you don't have to necessarily leave our competition, because I've been approached by that many people, and I know Chick does as well, about putting together packages so as they can send them off. And that's how, scouting works in this day and age.
Yeah.
You've also got great man JD, who coaches the Northern Tigers and has done a lot with Group 21 over the years to develop those under-18 boys and take their game to the next level too. Like, I think that sort of sometimes gets discredited. Sometimes what we've got in our own backyard,
Yep.
100% like you touch on, these kids, some parents maybe push them in the wrong areas of go down to Newcastle because it's a big area, that's where you're going to get seen. But I think we've seen in recent years, and especially on the girls' front, so many players are coming from the Northern Tigers in our area. So sometimes just working hard at your craft in your own area, like, what's going to harden you any better than having to run at Adam Clydesdale, Isaac Austin and Daniel Ritter as a 17, 18-year-old,
Yep.
Compared to going down and, you might carve up in the under-19s comp down there, but what sort of level of progression sort of takes you to a bigger level?
What's your thoughts? I mean,
yeah, look, I think for the boys, we'll probably see the girls actually. We'll see them develop a lot quicker because they sort of play 12s, 14s, 16s, 18s now is the way it's headed in Newcastle. So every second year they've got to compete against someone older, someone bigger, someone stronger. I don't think the boys are getting that nowadays, and that's I think why everything's sort of fallen by the wayside, because someone always goes, oh, we need to have a 19s comp, we need to have a this comp, we need to have this comp. Look, by the time you're 16, 17, you know where you're at. If you don't want to play, sort of don't prolong
competitively,
it.
that's
So I think maybe we'll probably see the girls take that leap forward a lot quicker and catch up to the sort of the men's side of it now with the way that they do it. So it'd kind of be interesting to see if maybe that's the way we do it with the young boys side of things, is go back to those age groups where you spend 2 years in an age group and you learn to develop. 1 year you're going to have to come up against someone bigger and stronger, because I think that's maybe the fear now in a lot of those 18s kids is they haven't had to play that sort of football.
Yeah, JD, I go back to when I was 18 and Foxy. One of the biggest things was, and I mean, I had brothers that played, and I could have played alongside them, but it was more so you wanted to get that call up and the tap on the shoulder from under 18s to play reserve grade that day. You wanted to play against them older blokes. It was not only character building, but you weren't thrown in like meat to the wolves. It's a different style of football. 18s is hard and fast. Reserve grade's much slower. So.
Yeah, I think I remember back my first game under 18s backing up to reserve grade was at Singleton Park, and about 20 minutes into it, there was an all-in brawl. So you learn pretty quickly what the difference between 18-year-old blokes and men is. Definitely hardens you up.
That wasn't the synonymous brawl with Al Baker.
Al Baker, it was. Yeah, that was my first game of senior football.
Oh, really?
Reserve grade, yeah.
I got them off a lengthy suspension. But,
as you'd imagine, I was in there throwing
Jimmy Bonner.
too.
Jimmy Bonner was the bloke from Singleton. I remember
Drop
it.
Dill Cassidy.
And yes, that's right. Dill got up and went twice or 3 times.
Yeah,
Tried to go again.
Didn't learn the first time.
And yeah, Mitch Whaley, he was there, and Jade Lee's.
Unlike Mitch Whaley to be in the thick of it.
No, but I'm just saying, in that team, I remember it because, we don't condone it, but Al's young fella was playing in that match as well.
Yep.
And that's when young Blair was isolated by Jimmy, and that's where Al didn't come onto the field, but it sort of spilled over the sideline. And, good days there. I think that they only just fixed the fence 3 years ago from that fight, and that would have been 2013. So, there was
a part of the archives there, the old broken fence.
Jimmy Bonner, though, mate. I mean, that's a name of the past. He used to be so fiery and aggressive. Yeah, no, definitely not. We'll probably see one of his tackles later on. But, guys, the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight, what did you make of it?
Look, I'm going to be honest. I didn't even watch it. To be 100% honest, Reggie, I didn't have any interest in it. I think Jake Paul is seriously making a mockery of the sport. Like when you're looking, I've seen there was a young fella, young Australian, I think cruiserweight heavyweight, Paul-Tyson. Yeah, he come out and even you watch him, he's like, he's doing it for a paycheck.
Here it is here. So the ladies fight before it, guys. As you can see here, look at Tyson in the first round. He cops a couple, but you can tell it's staged. It was as embarrassing as watching WWE, to be honest with you. There was 2 times there, and it'll come up in this clip where it'll show that his killer instinct, and you see him in the training lead up to it. He wasn't like that bloke in that ring. He was full on into it. He's still got that killer instinct, but the biting on the glove.
He is 60.
But the biting on the glove, you could see that was frustration.
Yeah, have a look at that shot there. Yeah, where he reels away like. But Tyson not to throw. Yeah,
that's
for his instinct not to kick in. Yeah,
that's what it is. It's instinct.
Yeah,
automatically kick in and just go bang. But it's for me not a way to go out. Definitely for Mike Tyson. But yes, you can see there. We obviously the footage supplied there. But yeah, there you go. Look, bang. You Jake Paul. You're going. Okay, mate. No. That's not what we talked about. You could tell Jake was all about the entertainment.
That's what he is, though. That's where he's built his craft on, being an influencer, TikTok, to doing YouTube videos and stuff. And then, the only thing I'll admit is he's worked hard at the craft of boxing. I'm not a boxer myself, but he's obviously put a lot of time and effort into it. But in saying that, you look at the people he's fought; they're all winnable fights, and there's all conditions within the contracts that make it pretty well that he can't lose.
Yeah,
and then he has the mouth to go and call out some of the bigger names, saying they want the paycheck. The Ryan Garcias and stuff.
But you just saw then that he did take one from Tyson, and that was pretty flush. And I think that obviously scared the hell out of him. But there's another part of it there. You see, it was fantastic on the computer screen, but you see Logan Paul coming in on the Tyson too. And look at this. Look at his brother Logan Paul. His eyes. He's out of it. He has been behind there. He's had more white powder than bloody Woolies bloody shopping aisle, all 3.
Too much prime energy drink.
Wow. That was kind of for me. Look, this is a big stitch up. Netflix.
It crashed it. Netflix crashed.
Yeah.
Like that says a lot. Like the amount of people that have Netflix around the world that would have tuned in to watch the fight for it to crash. Like ultimately, I think that's the grab of the whole situation.
Well, JD's like me. I said, I'm not watching that shit. I'm watching that shit. But he's obviously stuck with it, whether you're at work or wherever. But I actually got drawn into, I just want to watch it. And then I watched one round. The first round wasn't bad. The second round, I started seeing the way it went because it was such an anticlimax after that massive fight by the women. That women's fight was just absolutely, there we go again, women doing it better than men. So fantastic. But well, I don't know what will come up next out of the cyber dwellings for that, but I just don't think that.
It'll be more. It's the way of boxing at the moment. It's kind of like an influencer thing. You see celebrities in fight nights, footy players in fight nights and stuff. And
we used to have them here. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember Jacob Pottinger and Tyson Bruns.
That's the one. That's the one I was remembering.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk about it. I remember after watching this, putting a bit of a feeler out to a few of the Cats boys. It'd be not a bad little thing to get a draw card. Raise a bit of money for a local charity or something like that. Just I know there's a few boys that talk the talk at training and stuff and think they can throw them. It'd be interesting to see them get in the ring and when your back's up against the ropes to see if you actually can.
Foxy, you watch so many people and you know their character outside. on social media, especially community pages and that they're quiet or they're not. They don't want to see conflict, or they don't like approaching it, and yet they write all this shit on social media. But like you said, there's a lot of talk. I think it'd be great to see back. Could we get a Pottinger v Bruns round 2?
Oh, a little whisper Pottinger's back.
Who would you take? Who would you pick?
Back in the group. So
Mate, I don't know either of them. But
no. But who would you take in a local cross code or
Here he
local?
goes.
Who would you like out of Group 21 teams? Who would you pick and say, look, I want to crack?
I think just a bit of tongue in cheek. Foxy and I, but we back and forth on each other all the time. So look,
Two different weight categories.
Two different weight categories. I don't know.
You'd be too way to get your face damaged, wouldn't you?
Oh, that's rich. That's real rich.
Modelling career.
Oh, wow. I don't know, to be honest, really.
A front rower from the group. What about a front row you wouldn't take on?
Well, the text messages
mate,
has just started going
all
off
of
at the
them.
moment. Text
The list
messages
is
are going
massive.
ballistic, and
the list doesn't end on that one. I don't know.
social media is blown up at the moment. So
Yeah, look, mate, bit of tongue in cheek. I'd probably stir young Brad Young up. I reckon that'd give him a bit of a stir up. I'd happily.
So you've gone from potentially fighting a flyweight to going up a couple of heavyweight classes yourself.
Oh well, look, for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And,
look, for the right causes, you'd do it, wouldn't you?
yeah, you would. Who would you call out, Foxy?
I'd be calling out everyone through the commentary booth. That's what I'd be doing.
Hey,
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
you got to get in the ring with someone. Who would you? Hoogs? Would you give him a go?
He'd probably tell me up. I'm looking around the group, and I reckon there's how many people in the group? Probably 93% of them would beat me in a fight, I'd say. So
Yeah, I'd say Caleb Taylor or Blake Johnson would want to kill me after that. Not last season, the season before, where I couldn't get their name right. So
yeah, you went a whole season calling them the opposite names. Yeah.
Yep. No,
Considering one of them was doing work on your house too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it was great. A little bit of tongue in cheek there, but yeah. Talking about the Group 21, we'll go to the Group 21 signings now and have a look. There's been a fair bit. Most of it at the moment, like I said, Greta Brankston's starting to announce it, but Singleton were hot out of the box making their announcements. And you know most of the boys that will be in this clip, JD, so we'll have a look. But Kerrod Holland, of course, he was the captain coach named very early on in the piece, and he's done some great recruiting.
Yeah, I think he's done a great job, not just sort of recruiting, guys sort of outside the area, but he's brought a lot of the younger guys back into it too. So I think that was his first sort of avenue, was to make sure those guys that have been there through sort of this year and the year before to make sure they stay around and build. So Kerrod's not so much, he's not so much just bringing players in, but
Joel Brown,
Brendan Williams, like that's when I saw that was great to see. But like we're seeing here, the young guys, Maxi Stone and that, and someone like House coming back into the fold. Gabe and Mitchie Wells, mate. Jai
Davies, freak.
Yeah. Like just kids playing well above their weight. Like it's if I'm at Singleton,
Cooper Harris.
What's he due back round 10?
I was going to say.
Look, it's going to be
Blake Andrews,
That's
what a
the big one.
signing. That's the biggest.
Yeah.
Look, that
And Felice.
yeah.
So
Look, I've played against Felice in Newcastle, so that's been massive. Obviously,
Brooksy
Murray,
and
Osto back on for Scone.
then you've got Fraser Evans, Lawson, Josh and James Drayton there involved with the 18s, the reserve grade for out there. And of course, Semi Devui re-signing, Jacob Sukanavalu. You don't have to read the names out, but you see where we're going with this, that Denman, whilst Benko was a bit worried, I think they're getting the right there. So Todd Edwards, Aidan Stewart, Billy Mitchell, plenty of speed. I'd hate to be chasing him down, Riley, mate. I would give up, actually. But, and Captain Tyler Carter back. Musselbrook, of course, the two roughheads. That's a big signing.
I reckon he had the season of his career last year, Trent Walker. So
Yeah.
I know he's very keen to go better than what they did and make finals.
Grecian. Who was that other bloke? That was
Matty Dunn.
No, the other.
The Fijian.
Oh, that's big Semi Kiap.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's keen to stay in Musselbrook. He's pretty loyal. He likes what Musselbrook did to firstly get him over here and give him an opportunity to play footy here in our country. And he's a very nice bloke. So he's good to have around the club as well. So
it's just great to see. That's building from strength to strength, and that's what we're seeing. So I think it's going to be a cracking year for the local competition. But I'm really excited about seeing this. I don't know whether has there been a decision about the league tag, because I'm really excited about the tackle.
From what I'm hearing, no, it's definitely it's women's tackle.
Yep.
I know Singleton we're still going to enter a league tag, possibly down into the Newcastle comp. But from all I've heard is that it's going to be 18s. I don't know in what particular order, but there's women's tackle, 18s, reserve grade, and first grade. So
I think it'd be a cracking thing to start. You've got to look at the backup as well. Who's going to back up to play for where, and whether there's going to be all at the one ground, or as we've seen before, reserve grade and ladies go somewhere else. But I reckon it'd be a cracking day to go from 18s, ladies tackle. Well, that's in a perfect world, but most clubs might need some 18s to back up. But geez, that would be fantastic.
Puts a lot of ownership on the group, I guess, this year with Quirindi and Murrundi joining back into the competition. You obviously got Merriwell, Murrundi, Quirindi that'll all have reserve grade, potentially girls sides, and obviously that reserve grade comp. That's looking at a 9-team competition potentially. So it does make it a little bit of a scheduling headache. When ideally you'd love to go to a Saturday or Sunday afternoon and watch 4 games of footy, but with these sides in reserve grade now, it's going to make it a little bit difficult to try and
Foxy,
balance
we've done
it
the
out.
Friday nights, and I know it comes down to referees and the numbers that they have, but the Friday night games aren't for everyone. But we've seen, and Denman enjoy them, Muswellbrook enjoy them. So if clubs can come to the agreement of having a Friday afternoon, it's a bit of a late one, but I know that some don't have 18s. And you went ladies, reserve grade, first grade, on a Friday night, you're going to bring people out of the woodworks.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I think it's great. But you weren't able to join us last week, the last show that we did. Big fella,
I was working last week.
And some people use that word very freely, and
nice.
we've been able to. I don't know where this has come from. I don't know where this has come from.
I think a couple of people have reached out, sort of taken Foxy's back.
Can we remove that one?
Reckon we've been a little bit harsh on him about work and that. So
I'd say it'd be most of the blokes from BHP that I used to work with that know exactly where the work got done, mate.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, just a little bit of a technical error over that side of the studio. But yeah, we did receive some video content of you at work, Foxy. So look at this one. Oh, go Foxy, go for. Oops. No, Foxy, no. But you obviously
snoozing on the job.
But yeah, that's a big mess you've got there, Foxy. Is that what work's really like?
You know what night that happened the night after I commentated all day at Green Brinks and then went into work, mate.
No, I think this was it. This was the night one coming up now. Not too sure. Yeah, well, there was I did a bit of research on after JD and I had a bit of a laugh.
You know what this is? There's only one video of me having a bad night at work, mate. That's what it is.
We got it.
Is this JD having a shot at goal?
No,
is it?
No,
it's
not
just
me.
the one package.
Mate, this is you're the goal kicking expert around here, mate.
Yeah, I'm glad someone remembers that.
Well, anyway, yeah. Well, if we press play on this footage, I was able to go down and find some more footage of Foxy, you trying to giving some tips on the sideline of goal kicking. You class yourself as the number one goal kicker in the comp. Well, this is a tackles pack. Here we go here with the bit of golf kicking Foxy style. What would you do? Right in front?
Yeah, he stabbed at it. I believe that's Kieran Foran. He's got hamstrings.
Here we go. Another one of Foxy's kicking skills. School of kicking for Foxy, and I really like this one because being a New South Welshman, but
it just proves that even the best miss, mate.
I can see why you're doing the kids touch footy now, mate. It sort of takes that out of the equation for you.
Foxy moves in, he takes the kick. Oh, no, good again. And then, of course, the last one.
No kicking involved in touch footy, mate.
That's it.
Whoops.
Trying to save the hamstrings
that's
for
not
the
it.
season.
I've seen one of them this year. I'm trying to remember who did that one, but this is the final one, I believe. So
Michael Ward.
from the sideline, the flash, who was really good. No, bullshit.
Yeah,
But Foxy, you've claimed all along goal kicking. That good goal kickers don't miss from the same spot twice, but it has not been the case for a number of reasons. And
check my footage. I don't reckon I've
Well,
missed from the same spot twice.
We do have the footage of you. That's the thing. So next week we'll bring that up. But yeah, no, boys, just doing a bit of surfing and the hits that have been out there, some tackling practice. If the guys in Group 21 need any inspiration for some tackling, here's some big hits that definitely will get you talking. Here we go here. It's a small screen. I don't know why it's down there, but anyway, this is over in England.
There's a halfback.
Bit of stirring. What's this hit? What's this? Bang. That's how you do it. Straight up under the ribs. And look, plenty of hits like that this year through Group 21. We do want people to send through the information of the best tackle or the biggest. Here we go. Look at this one. He's straight. Oh, don't know where we are, but
on his shoulder.
On the shoulder. And yeah, just some classic tackles from around the place. But this next one, overseas, you can see in the elements, they love it in the islands. But I remember being tackled exactly like this from Marty Akuma. Look at this. Whack. Good night. See you later.
Shot himself out in Cannon.
How far has he leaped? We'll watch that again. Whack. Go. Yeah, that's about 3-4 metre dive through the air. So, here we go. Here we go. Woof, there goes JD. Over for a try.
That'd be Foxy. Foxy would have been there. Consider for me.
Look at this one from over. Look at the speed. Look at that. Straight across.
He's on a treadmill.
Bang. Is that you running, getting chased down, Foxy?
Yeah, probably nowadays. Yeah, I've got no legs left.
And of course the Reece Welsh hamstring. What do you reckon?
Fair game.
Yep.
Fair game.
That's
If I danced around like that the last minute of the game after giving Johnny cheek for 80 minutes,
Yeah, that's it.
Look, it's game on, yeah.
If you're going to go down, mate. Don't stand there.
Yeah.
Put it in
Watch
touch.
it, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Reece Welsh, how you doing? See ya. Oh.
Whiplash.
You can just see his wife flashing.
Well, you didn't see him coming, which makes it even easier for Tarpany to make it look spectacular. But yeah, some great tackles.
Like you're saying, biggest hitter you've probably in this area mostly, like since you've been back.
There's a bloke you probably know, AJ Johnson.
Yeah, the jukebox.
The jukebox.
Yeah.
Played with him down in Newcastle, mate. Just pure hitting.
Yeah.
Like
tough as nails, that bloke.
Oh yeah, and I think he's been everywhere. I remember he used to live in at Merriweather, and he was travelling out to us at Belmont. He used to ride his push bike out. So that was his big thing. Definitely him.
Travelling out on a push bike, that's great.
Locally, sort of most recently,
you'd have to say Ritter.
Yeah, maybe Daily Boney comes to mind for me, but I don't think you would have played against him, Johnny.
Look, mate, Blakey Andrews will definitely shorten you up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He's full, and he doesn't miss too many.
Mm.
He's definitely probably one that would be around there.
Tyler Carter's up there as well.
Tyler Carter, look, there's a few that...
I reckon Tyler's more so on the other side of the ball.
He's damaging both ways.
No, I've been on the end a couple of times. With
that might be just me. The few times I have played first grade against Green to find ways to not be in front of him, I'd say.
Take the kneel.
Yeah. What's that? You want me to come off for a breather?
Look, Big Osta's the same, mate. Like, you kind of got to be...
Yeah.
I learned pretty quickly you got to be a little bit smarter with him. Like, he kind of looks like he's not going to move too laterally on you, but if you're in that zone, he's going to get you, and he's going to get you pretty quickly. So.
I'll throw a bit of a left field one, and this is a name that actually got put up by our Danny Widler exclusive Brad Young, potentially a move down to the Newcastle comp, but Kane Bonham off the wing for Greta Brankston.
Yeah,
seen him pull off a few big hits, just jamming in, a bit like a Steve Maddai type, sort of jamming in. Obviously, when you're sweeping out the back of backline movements and you get a bit blindsided, it does make it a little bit easier to whack someone.
And it's easy to talk about, the big fellas. We talk about the big fellas, but we talk about the Blackadders and the girls, how good they are, and the Morgans. Brucey Blackadder, 70 kgs ring and wet, used to be one of the best defenders in the game, in the sport. Him and Reg Brazier, nothing of them. Really like a Tad Moffat build, and they used to be...
Technique sometimes overrules size, like Corey Holman. I'm sure there's probably a lot of blokes around the group that used to look out for him in the line, which you wouldn't, if you were looking at the team on paper or in front of you, you're probably going to pick him out until he...
Stephen Hinchin.
Yeah.
He's one of the worst ones I looked up and thought, there's Aberdeen, Troy, can't think of his Goodwin now, and Troy Goodwin, Marty Akuma and all that, and I thought, I'm going to go this way from fullback. and it was Hincho, and I just took it too easy, and he folded me in half, straight in the ribs. But I don't know. Other than that, Daniel Footy used to be fantastic back in the day. I know people used to love watching him and Ross Duggan against each other in that era. But
Paul Bankovic, I've heard a lot of talk about Paul Bankovic's techniques back in the days.
I'm going to actually have to get someone to give us a bit of whisper on Banko. And
he's pretty modest about his own footy career, but I think that says a lot about him. If it was coming from his son Brady, I think Brady would tell you all about his career. But
shots fired.
Paul, on the other hand, he's pretty modest, but from all reports, he was quite the axe they used to call him back in the day. So yeah, pretty handy.
And he's always given back to the sport, Banko too. And we're only doing it. We're not trying to be internet stars. We're trying to promote kids to be active in sport and being it whichever way. And he used to do a lot of that as well. The great Brian McGrath used to do the great newspaper that I've seen your name even written up back in the day, Foxy, and they do player profiles in the newspaper. Used to be a lot of people that had played and were good players and given back to the game.
Yeah.
It's just great
Banko's,
to see.
like you said, Banko's an advocate, and yourself even too, Reg. People forget that you used to play back in the day. I actually remember playing a bit of reserve grade with you back in the day. You used to rate yourself with a big left foot kick.
Left foot kick, yeah. I think it was, look, to be honest with you, the easiest thing was transition across to rugby union.
Yeah.
Because league here was great, but you go over to union and it's fourth grade and you used to stand out. Like I said, Daniel Forder played under Gareth McAuliffe's name one day and it was the best game Gareth's ever had. So, it was, But no, league, it was. I think it was more about the social side of it. I like the sides that we had back then and the competition, even though there was, the vengeful hates. You don't see it this day and age, like the Muswellbrook Aberdeen, and it was really there, the Muswellbrook Sharks and the Merriwall Magpies. That was really, it was a bloodfest attack.
I hear a lot of stories of the football from that sort of era, and it was a lot of like you wouldn't tend to go out and have a night out in those towns because you'd probably get targeted as being from another club. Whereas
I dated a girl from out there, mate, and decided to go along to one of their when I was playing for the Sharks. And look, I love the Merriwall people, and I've still got great friends out there. Benny Morgan was the one that I'll tell you that story, waking up next to him. But no, not like that.
You said you were dating a girl, mate.
Yeah, no. But we had to go to a cross-dressed night. They had a cross-dressed night out there, and no, I didn't go. This is getting better. This is getting deeper, but no.
Oh, Reggie Reynolds with the shovel.
Oh, it was great. It was good times out there at Merriwall, but you don't see those type of things these days because of the political correctness. The cross-dress and everything like that. It's just, so fun. The 60s.
You heard it here first. The Diddy parties of Merriwall.
The Diddy parties of Merriwall, Foxy. That's a good hit. No, but, plenty to talk about. And look, we're actually going to do some another one not on just sport. We've had some other people reach out to do a rugby league podcast. A sports podcast. So we're going to be branching off into that, guys. This is purely footy. But I do have a very interesting story, and I've never told you guys. But look, I've been willing to do a lie detector test on whatever I have to. A bit of an interaction around 2009. I've got 6 receipts, 6 people. A doppelganger for Peter Falconio, if not him. No shit. You're looking there going, are you serious? The bloke that went missing up in the Northern Territory? Yeah. Telling you, I'll tell you the story. 100%.
You blindsided us here.
Yeah, I know. 2009, big experience. I'll sit down and tell you the story.
You're saying you're linked to a missing persons case? Is that what
we rang Crime Stoppers and everything. There was 6 of us, and 100%. Yeah, no, it wasn't just one interaction. It was constant in my workplace, and then he had to come in, this person, and being genuine, no shit.
Really?
Yeah, but we said
obviously it wasn't him.
Oh, if it's not him, it was doppelganger. 100%, down to the T. Give it a few years and you attend. But that's the story I'm going to tell you. But I like your action then. What? But people do come across strange things.
I was about to pack up and leave. I don't want to be linked to no crime. So.
No. It's just it intrigued me. As you saw, I opened a social media account to retrieve some pictures going in for this surgery tomorrow for my family, and it just brought up. Oh crap. Remember that? So, 2009. It was very...
Memories.
All the memories, mate. It was great times back then. That's when we played footy, Foxy, together back around that era. It was... I miss those times, but
Yeah, simpler times.
get this thing out of me back, and who knows, I might be able to register next year. Not happening. Not happening. I just got to
Register for pension.
Yeah. But any other news? Because we can kick on to the cricket soon, if you like, if nothing more on rugby league or strange events.
I think we covered most of the signings, and
Yep.
I think a few sides are starting to get back into the training side of things. See some, obviously a lot lighter than the full-on pre-seasons, but blokes are starting to get back together and Christmas parties and that sort of stuff. This is where the coaster signings at the pub start forming here, and then all of a sudden it gets to the 40-degree days in January, and those messages get left on red. So
oh yeah, those type that and some people don't realise that you can see them, and then they've read them, no response.
Yeah.
So
promise the world 7 or 8 Jim Beams deep into a Christmas party, and then all of a sudden they're not seen until February.
I don't know how many times I had a drink with Dave Dever at the Prince of Wales Tavern, Jim Beam, and he was trying to get me to go to Aberdeen nearly every time, and I was all but convinced most times that Dave's a legend. I'm going to go up there, and But that's how it happens. That's how it happens with recruiting.
Yeah, build relations and
happened with the Sharks with me when I went across to the Sharks that we spoke about. Jeff Dole wanted to punch on with me at the pub. He called me over because it was disrespectful for my family, because it was all the loyalty that was there back. That was the passionate years. But it was actually my brother Adam that stitched me up, and I went and signed and copped all the shit. And then he came over 6 weeks later. So it was another enjoyable story. But that's what I mean. Back then it was loyalty. It was loyalty. It was entrenched. And Kurt said, "Dad wants to come and see you." And he put his beer down on the bar and said, "I want to talk to you. You're disrespecting your family." And I was just, "No, I don't want to go here, Jeff. Please, no." But that's
right.
What you need.
I guess the loyalty side of things has changed a bit, but I think shift work and, like, at the end of the day, if you're a football player that can kind of make a bit of money on the side to support your family in today's current climate, I somewhat support it,
Yeah, some are making way more. Some are making not just a bit of money on the side, a full-time job.
Yeah, tax-free holidays.
So tax-free, I've heard about that. Gift cards and the likes too. So, but the cricket guys, before we get it, the footy's coming up on the screen because we're going to wrap up. Bit of banter there with Stark telling the fellow Indian bowler that
all that was based on was because the Indian bowler bounced him a couple of times.
Yeah. You've got a bowl again.
Yeah, listen, mate, you've got a bat yet. Much faster bowler. About $1 for every time I said that to a batsman.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty rich.
I was never really big on the cricket, Foxy, to be honest with you. I even played, and you're going to laugh at this, I used to just be the social one and do whatever. And Diley and Swanee rang me and said, "Oh, can you come and play cricket? We need a player." I said, "I love fielding."
Yeah.
And they let me bowl 12 ball over, 13 ball over. So, and that was first grade works club. But they fed me free.
Great names of local cricket there, Diley and Swanee.
They fed me free beers, so that was
there definitely would have been beers involved with Diley and cricket, that's for sure. Yeah.
And the old road trip up to Brooklyn, but cricket great. And these guys, well done to India. It's so big for them. The young fella that got his first century on Australian soil. It's just unbelievable. It's so big for them. This is the India community. They live for it.
Well, I believe it's the sport. You see footage of those playing in the streets. They're playing it with sticks and stones, like anything they can do that resembles a bat and ball. They'll pick it up and have a game of cricket with. I think that shows, like, the IPL option, the 2020 Indian Premier League cricket option was just on, and there was a 13-year-old that actually was bought by one of the franchise over there.
Wow.
You look at, like, closer to home, Keifer Bray, 15, playing for the Sydney Sixers. There's a 13-year-old Indian player that just got selected. So.
Yeah, well, like I said, congratulations to Indian. They're fantastic. They're very passionate over there. You can see how much it means to them in the stands, especially, like you said, watching the IPL. And Keifer Bray, she's going places, mate. She is.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt, there's another great interview with Adam Murray from NBN News just recently that we shared. I think she's going to be a star of the future in whatever she decides to do.
At the end know we touched on it before, but it'd be a hard thing choosing between Australian soccer and Australian cricket. Here I am trying to work out what I'm taking from cricket. Wouldn't mind that decision instead.
Just no more forklift accidents, okay, please? There was another one, Foxy, and I wish that it came up, but pearler of an effort. But look, guys, cricket's on now. I'm not a big fan. I'd like to just see the highlights. Yeah. I can't sit there and watch a test series. I saw Erin Souter, she wanted to move out or something, and I don't watch cricket. I said, you can come down and hang out.
There's a few worrying signs here. Like, the reason I brought it up is Australian cricket. We like to talk about sport. I was actually hoping to get Benko's opinion on a few of these things. He's quite cross-board with his sports. But, yeah, nonetheless, Australia probably got some worrying signs. A few older heads in their side that might be pushing for their spots in a couple of test matches if they keep it up. Yeah, like you said, India come over here young and full of confidence. Yeah, no, look, I think that they've done exceptionally well. Cricket's not my... I don't mind the mixed indoor netball as well. That's a big change of pace from the cricket.
Yeah, mixed indoor netball, volleyball, that's me.
Full of surprises tonight, mate.
I know. But mixed, I'm not big one, and I can't golf. Never really took to golf.
I've never been a big golfer. I just had lunch with Lenny Craft, actually, and he's trying to talk me into starting to play a bit of golf in my days off. So, I might have to. The body's not really holding up for any other sport, so maybe golf's the thing I turn to.
No. I'll happily go and have a
social hit.
Drive the cart. Drive the cart. Happy to drive the cart, but haven't quite got
It's not as easy as running a football, hitting a golf ball, is it?
No. I don't see the enjoyment in it, but look,
each their own.
It's like fishing for me.
You don't like fishing?
I'll happily fish.
Happily
fish, but
relaxing is that is. You can just throw a rod in and just sit there and have a chat. And I love it. You wouldn't golf and cricket, mate.
I'll go stand out in the sun in 40-degree heat and play cricket all day on a Saturday, but
you wouldn't throw a rod into the.
Couldn't catch me with my feet in the water with a line. No.
I think we need to have a fishing comp. There should be something here, so we might get onto that. Could be a
thing for the coming throughout the year, mate. Could throw it out there.
Well, like the Queensland, New South Wales, we'll do a little...
We've got a boxing tournament happening that we've discussed tonight, a fishing challenge.
hey, you see what George Rose is doing with the boxing side? I think maybe Footy Fever can take a general Group 21 sports competition.
Look, I think it's just sticking with this is enough. But, I commend anyone that plays any sport. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about, guys. That's why we're here, to get people involved and get them out and about. Rather than kids sitting behind electronics, it's one of the things that pisses me off the most. So it's just seeing kids with it is the easy thing to do, is just give them an iPad and see you later. We see so many separated parents and in families when they're doing things, and go to mum and dad's and they just play it, and you can tell. But register your child, get them out there, get them involved. There's always a car club that people can take them along, be it soccer. Young Jack's going to play soccer next year. That's going to be a new experience for me. I'm like, I want to play rugby league, mate. No. He's doing dancing. He's got he loves his sister. Yeah, things are going strange in the Reynolds household, mate. His sister's great on dancing, so he's grown up with it. Now he's the only guy in this end of year performance that they're doing. So there's no shot. There's no flaws.
I'm going to say he's learned his dancing genes have come from Ash and not.
100%. Ash used to be a dancer, but mate, no, I'm the old sway with the schooner. So, but look, all good, boys. Thanks for your time tonight, and the messages are coming through. I think you've just been challenged by Adam Grew for a boxing fight. So
me,
you. So that's going to be...
I've seen some of his footage. I'll pass that on.
So
I'll be in his corner with the water bottle. That's it.
We'll see if we can get something happening. JD, great to have you again. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And any stitch-ups, anything, send it through, especially footage if you've got anything put together on.
If anyone wants to take on JD in a fight night,
JD.
Nominations forward.
Sounds like you're on the footy field, Foxy. Always someone else go in there. Someone else go and make that tackle. I'll go stand at fullback.
You could call me Jake Paul. I just pick the fights I want to be in, mate.
Yeah, well, that's fair call. But JD's out there for a boxing match. He's the one that's free if anyone.
Sponsored by Footy Fever.
Here we go.
We'll make it happen. Foxy and Gruey, JD, and whoever puts their hand up. So thanks very much, and boys, have a great weekend.
Thanks, mate.